I was having a think the other day about hobbies. Now, to me, as somebody who hasn't got a single tattoo, I look at you and think that possibly might be one of your hobbies. But
You
it's
know,
I don't know if that's fair to call it a hobby or an interest, but
it used to be more of a hobby.
right,
I have significantly slowed down my tattoo collection since being diagnosed because I
right,
feel like I need to be I'm very hyper aware of being sensitive with my body and
right.
doing things that are going to cause my body to go, that's new and interesting. I get little ones, but my
Right.
days of larger body art pieces are gone, and
I'm
that's
a
okay.
devout coward. I'm a devout coward. If it involves stabbing me with a needle, that's me out.
I think finding hobbies though, when you are living with a chronic illness and you have a lot of physical restrictions, you have to get creative because a lot of times I think a lot of people struggling with finding things that they're able to do with their new life or their new health journey. It can be challenging, it can be a struggle, but I'm always advocating for get out there, try as many things as you can and get creative. Me, I love fishing, but the days of me
Okay.
getting on a half pack with 50 grown men with balance issues is probably not in my best interest, so I'll never ever give up fishing. It's one of my favorite things to do, but it's
Right.
not wise to be on a boat with 50 grown men with lines everywhere and people running with balance problems. So my
Yeah.
husband and I, we opt for smaller boats where there's a chair and I can just chill and still get a line out and reel in a big fish. So
I used to cycle a lot in a club, and MS has affected my eyes when I turn my head. Like essentially looking over your shoulder when you're cycling with a group of people and you're going flat out, it's not cool to not be on the top of your game. And I've had to sort of pull back from that. I've got, I knock around London if I have to go in for my clinical trial and stuff on my bike, but I used to ride motorbikes as well. And on a track, it really would be deeply uncool to write somebody off at 100 miles an hour. You would not be, I couldn't live with myself knowing that I had ignored that. But that was one of the hardest things, giving, or two of the hardest things, giving up essentially cycling and motorcycling. So yeah, and knowing it's the MS that's and you can get bitter and twisted about it, but I choose to do different things. I mean, you talked about modifying how you go fishing because that's still a passion. Is there anything else that you have you know done that sort of is
yes.
new?
So I grew up in the performing arts. I think some people know this about me, and I don't really talk about it a whole lot, but I was classically trained vocalist
Right.
growing up. I've sang since I was 5 years old up until I still sing. But classical voice requires a lot of breath support, which is something that I physically struggle with now, and stamina. So I used to be able to, sing 2 to 3 hours for a set, really, really challenging pieces, whether it be classical or theater, Broadway sort of style music. Um, and I know now I can see my stamina sort of dwindling, and it's frustrating because there's a thespian Broadway kid in me that still loves to belt out some chorus line or Jekyll and Hyde or Les Mis, but
Can
at
I
the
make a
end of
suggestion? I was interviewing somebody the other day about brain plasticity. Music is so good for your brain plasticity,
oh
which is the
yes,
way your brain can rewire itself to get around the damage to
absolutely.
maintain
Music
function. But
therapy. I'm
very cool. Yeah.
huge into musical therapy. But it's frustrating though. I'll have a musical tickle, up my hiney, and I'll sing, a few really, really challenging pieces. And by the end of it, I feel completely depleted and exhausted. Am I gonna stop? No, because I love it. But
To all of you guys watching, it's hobbies are just doing something with your brain, your hand. It makes you feel better. Don't just sit there. But anyway, if you want to see more cool content, we cover everything from me and Britt talking about hobbies to I did a whole bunch of stuff on Ectrums. I know Britt's done some other stuff, but it's all there on Lived Health. And the way that you find out about it is you hit the subscribe button, you hit the like button, you ring the bell, all that, you get notified. Get subscribing, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video.